For Module 3, Activity 2, we're going to start with facts. Here are 6 facts about trauma. Please read them to yourself now or review them in the PowerPoint deck that is provided as part of this course. This talks about more adolescents and teens, but as we know, what happens in the young grades will impact the development into adolescence, teens, and adulthood. And so, as we already have discussed in the first activity for this module, we need to be thinking about teaching rather than managing. When we are thinking of teaching prosocial behaviors rather than managing challenging behaviors, we change our mindset to think of it more in an asset-based rather than a deficit-based mindset. We are showing, modeling, explaining what it means to have prosocial behaviors when our emotions are high. Because children and students who have experienced trauma often believe that they deserve poor treatment. And when the poor treatment isn't given, they start to seek it out. But as educators, we can create the environment where non-poor treatment or positive treatment is the norm for the students in our classroom. Oftentimes, children will interpret abuse and neglect as confirmation of their effectiveness. That they see abuse and neglect saying, I deserve this. So being sent out of the classroom on a repeated basis because of their behaviors, or being asked to go do something that many of the other students aren't being asked to do, or not being able to go to the classroom store week after week after week, is actually confirming their sense of self. Additionally, children who have experienced trauma often do not understand what is meant or what it means to have affectionate touch. Many children and students who have experienced abuse and neglect have had aggressive touch rather than affectionate touch. And so as we conclude this module and activity, I want us to be reflecting on the challenging behaviors that we may be seeing in our classrooms. How are we teaching those prosocial behaviors? How might our own pet peeves be interacting and impacting how we are disciplining the students in our classroom? What is in our locus of control? Which here on the screen, you can see that green is really at the center of the things that we can control. We can control how we set up a classroom. We can control the rules that we have set forth for our students, and we can control how we develop those relationships with our students. In the yellow, we can influence some things, but we don't have control. We can influence the practices that the whole school building has. We can have a voice in some of the policies that are implemented. And then finally, in the red, those are the things we cannot influence. We cannot change the home life of a child. We do not have that control. Yes, we may have the control if it comes to the point of calling DCFS or calling other child services and resources, but within ourselves, we do not control what the child experiences day in and day out in their home environment. Therefore, it's important for us to understand that trauma-informed care focuses on the things that we can control. So remember our locus of control as educators.